Now, as I've just taken delivery of my new Renault Master, the thing now is it needs fitting out ready for work. I've got 1 week in which to do it, and if you look at the old van, you'll see the fitting out inside is quite intense, and even through the side door everything's got to be fitted. Now, having used this van now since it was new, which was 12 years ago, 2005, I've found a few things that I would have liked to have done differently at the time of fitting out. The most important is the floor. Now, I covered the floor with this vinyl, which is the industrial vinyl that we use for wet rooms. It's made everything last a lot longer. But what I would have rather done was to raise the floor just enough to store underneath all my long items. So that's an amendment I want to make for the next van. So looking in the back of the new Master, as you can see here, the first thing is laying out the floor. It's already fully ply lined. It's what I requested, so I've got a good basic structure to work from. I've laid out all the items that I want to put in there. Now, just a couple of pipes to get the length, make sure everything's correct. Making sure everything will fit. I'll be putting dividers in, keeping everything obviously the same height because the floor's got to be level when it's finished. At the bottom end there, where the side door is, that'll be pipe work under the floor coming in from that side. So another opening point there. The method in which I'll do is, as I said, frame it all out exactly where it wants to be, putting stops in where things are so they'll go down. Like this pipe work here, these are 3 metre lengths. Sometimes they come in 2 metre lengths. So I want dividers to give me a 2 metre and a 3 metre. Anything in between there I'll have to store separately. I don't want multiple divisions that will just restrict the amount of storage I can have. Once I've made all the partitions, I'll then reboard it with a 12mm ply right the way across, and then vinyl it like I've done the other one, and vinyl around these wheel arch boxes as well. So it's basically vinyling the bottom section of it, so it gives you that protection, because you do a lot of wet work and a lot of dirt goes in there as well, and if you've got a good vinyl you can get it washed out nice and easily. It's a lot better. So what I'll do now is just chalk out these lines, measure up the depth, and then start cutting some strips to go in there of timber, which will just be silicone bonded to the floor. And here's the layout. Underneath the floor that will be, I've framed it all out with 65mm deep strips, which I've used this wall boarding because it's a sustainable material. Obviously this is going to be down here for a good few years, getting damp and such. I don't want it swelling, splitting or anything, and this material, it glides nicely and it will stay still. Now, being as with the floor on top of it, the plywood on top of this, I'm going to end up with a total raised amount of 80mm or 77, but you know, near as damn it. My concern was that here the tread up from the floor is already quite high. It's a comfortable high at the moment to be able to get up there, but raise it another 80 would be rather difficult. So what I've done is, with the secondary door closed, that is the door that you would open secondly. This is the door you'd open primarily. So this is your main access point, this is the door you're getting in. So what I've done is I've set everything back a good 350mm. I've got a good footstand there now, so I can get up in here without anything being in my way, nice and comfortable, and then up onto the next level that will be there. Now next stage will be plying over the top of this lot with this 12mm ply. Then I'll be putting the vinyl on top of that. I'll put this vinyl here because obviously this is the tread part, but also along there because it's just protecting it from wind, rain coming in under the edge, and it just makes it look nicer as well. Now over the back end there, you see I managed to get the pipes that will slide under the floor. There will be the wall unit there that we have on the other sliding door in the other van, so that will be underneath that. Here I've got the glides from the track saw, the actual tracks for the track saw, 3 of them. The 2 short ones And you see I've made this rack where it just slides in nice and easily, so they're easy to get out. And this being the full length one, goes all the way in there. Set them all a little bit so that I can get to them, I can see to them. Is the original straight edges I used to use. All got stops on them, very useful. Then I've got this section here, which is for the wallboard profiles, which we use a lot of and carry a lot of. This section is a 2 metre long compartment, which will be for 2 metre long pipes. Here, 3 metre long pipes. Then I've got spirit levels. Now all of them are on their own stops. You can see that. So nothing can go out of the way. And here, the wallboard supports that we use. Pipes down the other end, and I've got a section over there which I'm going to put a drawer into. I'll put some full extension drawer glides on it later, and I'm going to put a slide out drawer. Why? Because I can. I don't have a reason for it. It's just it's a big box, a big space, and I don't want to waste it. So that's what that's going to be for. So now I'm ready. I'll leave it overnight, let it set, and then tomorrow get the top part on and start with the vinyl. Then we can start looking at putting up all the wall units. And now the next morning, everything's nice and cured. I've emptied all the gear out that I put into there, and now I'm ready to start putting the plywood down. Now for the side door, because this is going to be pretty much open to the weather blowing in underneath that lot, I didn't want to vinyl it, so I've just painted it with some red paint. It's a stone paint, so it'll protect the wood, make it last longer. I've scribed that in there, so now all I've got to do is just cut this, which is the butt joint to the other board, and get the two in. That's a pretty snug fit. Lovely. Now get it screwed down. Right, and then with the sander we just need to flatten out the joints just so the vinyl doesn't get any impressions on it. Nothing too serious. Right, a good dusting out, and then we're ready for the vinyl. And here it is, completed. Vinyl all fitted all round as required. The next thing now is to start getting all the units and shelving and everything in, transferred from the old van. And as you can see, the weather's not stayed on my side. So a few improvisations have had to be done. That might slow things down a little bit.